loved and honored. And if you feel you can't do it, just bring them back and I'll pick up the rest, pick up the slack.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Yeah, that note was off. But anyway, listen, let's go on. We're talking to you guys about Married at First Sight review, doing about Miles and Karen. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, like it, share it, subscribe it, click on that bell button for a notification of the uploads, baby, for those of you returnees. And you already know, Mineral gang, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Don't forget to grab your merchandise as well. Click on the link down below and grab yourself a hoodie as well. And join the team. Don't leave me out here spare, baby. Alright, listen, let's get into this, baby. Right, listen, we're talking about Miles and Karen. Now, here's the thing about Miles and Karen. I don't know if I'm reading too much into this. I don't know if I'm doing too much. But I'm not liking Karen's energy at the moment. It may be the way they're portraying the camera, but I don't like Karen's energy at the moment. So let's break it very down. Obviously, we get to see the very opening scene where Miles and Karen are in their bedroom. They're chilling. They're just catching a bit of joke on a bit of a banter. And you know, Amani and Woody come knocking on the door. Yeah, Miles comes, opens the door. Yo, my brother. Da, 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 da. They come in. Now, here's the thing. I just personally think it's common courtesy that when someone comes into your space or your room or your house, you stand up, okay, and you greet the person.
Beautiful.
So honestly, I hope that he is feeling the exact same way that I'm feeling.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah? You stand up and you give a hug to Woody, you give a hug to Amani, and then you sit back down and rest, and then you can say, I am tired. When you don't get up, for me, looking at it from a point of view, it's almost as if I don't have to get up. And it almost presented to me a snobbish attitude. Now, someone might say she was tired. I believe she was tired. We know that. But I do believe that if her parents came in, she would have got up. I do believe that. You understand? And so for me, it's all about respect and about certain things that communicate that you're important, yeah? So, you know, when they came in, you know, she did obviously, you know, say hey to Woody, gave a little kind of side hug to Amani, but she was on the bed when she did it, right? And I know she was tired. She said she was tired. But there was not, you're not so tired that you haven't got a little bit of energy left to stand up and greet, you know, your boy's boy. You know what I mean? Like, present that unified front. You know what I mean? And so for me, it wasn't a good look to see that. Okay.
Go to sleep.
When you even look at even the later on as well, when they get into the bed. Now, Miles obviously is at the foot of the bed, okay? And he begins rubbing her feet. Now, here's the thing. I've got no problem with you rubbing her feet. I think that's a beautiful thing to do. I think it's a loving thing to do. Relationship, couple goals. You understand? Yeah, when someone can do that for you. Here's the other thing. My only concern was that when he began to, he said, oh, I can fall asleep here. No, you can't. You know you can't. You know you want to fall asleep in the bed. Don't lie. You know you want to fall asleep properly in the bed, yeah? So, and for me, I thought like she would have said to him, listen, don't be silly, come on, fall asleep in the bed if you're going to fall asleep. Do you know what I mean? Get in the bed, don't rest there. Now, obviously, we've seen the cutscenes later on, it doesn't look like he stayed on the foot of the bed all night. You understand? Because we saw later on the cutscenes that he got up, he helped her with her dress to get out of her dress and, you know, gave her a sweet and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. So we can see the caring nature of Miles coming through. My fear, just like his mum said, my fear is, girl, you ain't ready. And if you ain't ready, send them back to manufacturer. You guys know when I love this term when I say to you, send them back to manufacturer. In fact, we're gonna make a hoodie of that. Send them back to the manufacturer, yeah, to go and get a factory reset. You don't deserve it. Yeah, because he's such a caring guy. He's very compassionate. He's very aware, very loving in that nature. And I'm fearful that there's too much, and I'm going to just do this way, there's too much feminine energy for Karen's liking. I don't think it's bad, but I think the type of woman that she is, remember she already stated earlier on in the show about the fact she didn't like the fact he was too emotional. I think there's too much feminine energy for her liking as what she considered to be a male that she's attracted to. I'm not saying that every woman's like Karen. I believe that Karen likes a certain type of male, whether that's because she's been broken or whether that's because of her mum, whether that's because of what she's seen with her dad. I definitely believe that she likes a certain type of male. Yeah. So and when you hear, and obviously she mentioned something, I believe. You know, and I felt like, oh, is this because of the past relationship that the way you're acting? Because you know, that past relationship, obviously, I think she was cheated on. I believe there's a lot of pain that is there that hasn't been resolved. And I think some of the ideas that are, you know, sometimes women come from broken relationships, and when they've been broken so much in relationships, they have a broken, distorted reality of what a man should be. And so you see that girls end up with these bad boys. Bad boys. What you want to do? Alright, let me stop that. Alright, listen. So these girls can end up with bad boys, right? And they'll do it for a little while, and then they'll come to their senses and realize, I don't want a bad boy, I want a good guy, right? Yeah. A shy guy who will always be mine. When you say love me. Anyway, listen. So a lot of women come to their senses, and they realize, actually, I want a good guy. Yeah? So they go through these experiences, and this is where men get annoyed because they think that, women want to just go for bad boys, and then when they finish, they go for guys. That's not how it happens, my broski. What they're looking for is a set of traits that make them feel comfortable, safe, and feel loved, yeah? While at the same time feeling excited, you know? A little bit of danger doesn't go amiss. You know, you have to have a bit of a swagger. You have to have a little bit of a knife edge to you. Not every day, you know, I love you. Sometimes you have to just switch it up a little bit. Show her that you're not, you know what I mean? That today's the day, you know what I'm saying? Make her feel, no. Alright, cool. But yeah, so that's what I feel like with Karen. There's a little bit of this broken record kind of feeling in terms of the way that she sees men. And I think that's gonna play onto Miles. So yeah, if Miles did not sleep in the bed, but at the edge of the bed, he's already set a precedence to kill himself. Why do I say that? The type of woman Karen is, she's not going to see that you sleeping at the edge of the bed is a loving thing you were doing because you're rubbing her feet. What she's gonna see that is as a weak male. Yeah, it's not every woman who thinks like this. I think a lot of women who think like this oftentimes have had exposure to a lot of broken relationships and masculine energy that's not in the right frame of mind. Yeah, because you know, they take advantage of kindness and see it as a weakness rather than seeing it as an absolute strength. Yeah, and so if he did sleep at the edge of the bed, this ain't gonna work for him and Karen, because I believe that she feels like she may walk all over him, and she needs a man's man in her eyes. Okay, and also as well, it's about establishing dominance and conceding ground, and not conceding ground with this type of woman. With the type of woman that Karen is, when she already mentioned the fact that, you know, you looked emotional, it's about Miles not conceding any ground and saying, hey, listen here, I'm rubbing your feet, don't get twisted, I'm getting in bed after this. Yeah, don't play with me, I don't do them things there. And the reason why is because you need to show some level of assertiveness for this type of woman, because the respect of this woman to you, okay, and this is where I want men to get it. You know, this is why I don't like the red pill community, because they lambast and tar everyone with the same brush. Not every woman's the same, okay, and not everyone's had the same experiences, so the way they deal with men is completely different by case. So in the case of Miles and Karen here, I truly believe that he has to set pace. I believe he has to show his masculine energy in assertiveness. I believe he has to be kind, but I believe he has to be firm. Okay? So hey, Karen, listen, I'm gonna oblige you, I'm gonna sleep in his bed. Yeah? I'm gonna sleep in his bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to touch you, stay on your side, stay on my side, but I'm not sleeping on the edge of the bed. Okay? And I'm only giving that as an example. The reason why I'm saying that is because his nature will come across as being feminine. And to a woman like that, that's not attractive. You have to understand this. Men like feminine women, women like masculine men. But the amount of masculinity and the amount of femininity that we like in the opposite sex is dependent upon how we've been reared and grown up. That's why I don't like red pill community, because they lambast and label everyone the same. That's why I don't like the divest Twitter or what they're called or whatever. That's why I don't like hardcore feminism, because they lambast everyone the same brush and not take it case by case and understand that people have different levels of what they accept as masculinity and femininity. Right? And when you're able to understand that, then the way that you operate in your relationships will make sense. Yeah? The type of thing. And I always say this as well. Know what you need, not what you want. And when you enter a relationship, you can regulate straight because you know what you need. Yeah?
Why did you get married at first sight?
Dating in New Orleans just sucked.
And that was it. That was a tweet. That was it. That was what she said. Yeah? Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. I don't know why I sang that song. This is why I said about masculine energy for Miles that is going to be a problem for Karen.
And that's about it.
Same.
Anyway, that's all she wrote, right? And so, as soon as she said that, his response was like, yeah, basically, yeah, same thing. Bro, I know that's not the same thing for you, bro. I know that the way you speak about going into a relationship, that is not your response. But you've now governed your response in a response to her response. And that is a problem. Because like I said, with her, she doesn't want this type of male. She wants the mineral gang. You understand? Mineral gang. You know what I'm saying? She wants that kind mineral gang. You know what I'm saying? She wants that type of guy. So if you're not bringing that kind of energy, you're not bringing that assertiveness, you're not bringing your own mind kind of thing, bro. Like, you have to have your own, listen, you have to have your own mind. I always say this, never enter a relationship when you don't have your own voice. You must know what your voice is, what does it sound like, and what is governed by it. You are the governor of your own voice. You must use it. If you don't govern your voice, someone else will. So if you keep saying the same things as her and agreeing to everything she said, because let's be honest, I don't believe that your response as the reason why you got married at first sight was just because dating sucked. Yeah? I don't think that would have been your natural response. But you've chosen to decide, you've decided, and you just said basically, yeah, I agree with that, me too. And it's like, yeah, brother. That you don't have to do that because she's buff, bro. You don't have to do that because she's nice. You understand? Be your own voice, be your own mind. Listen, girls dig that. That one I can say universally. Women dig men who have their own voice. Why? Because they have their own voice too. You understand? They you know what I mean? They want to know that you've got your own voice too because they're not dating a robot, they're dating a person. You understand? Personality. You understand? Personality. Alright, cool. You know, again, another thing was obviously when when Miles went to the parents, it was interesting, but there was something that was mentioned. Karen's dad wasn't happy with the process.
As a reminder, Karen's dad isn't comfortable with the filming process, so I'm going to have brunch with the rest of her family.
My husband, he's getting there, but like he says, the jury is still out.
So he didn't show up to the meal. Now here's my thing, as a father, like, you know, I know that I'm not a father, so I can't really say it, but I'm saying, as a father though, in this world where men are using women for jokes and for bants, yeah? Where the men are coming out and going whenever they feel like, you should be the first one at that dinner date. Why? Because you need to vet him. Yes, she's gone beyond you, but yes, she's gone beyond your powers of saying that, you know, you disagree with it. Yes, but she's done the decision already. What are you going to do? You know, what are you going to... This is why sometimes you know, I'm not even going to make that comparison because it's not necessarily true. But, you know, when you look at other people's parents and the parents support them almost in everything, and it's almost like you get envious because you're like, I wish my parents would do the same. And it's not to say that you want your parents to back every decision you make. But there are some decisions which are not life-threatening. There are some decisions which are not going to kill us. And there's some decisions which are a risk. Okay, and so in this season of a decision that Karen's taken, it's a risk. And my brother, being a male and being a man, you know what the males are out there doing. So you as a father should be there to say, hey, look, my daughter, don't want to play with her. And I didn't agree with the marriage, but let me tell you something now. This is my daughter. And the reason why what that does, and listen, Miles is a respectful person. I don't think he's going to do something stupid anyway. But what that does is it sets a precedence for another man. Look, kings respect kings. Yeah, the reason why they respect kings is because they know they have the equal amount of strength. They have the equal amount of ability to potentially rob them of their own kingdom. So with men meeting other men, they submit to other men. So when you are a father figure and you're there, you put an image in his head to say, hey, there is another strong man in this household. And the Bible tells us as well that unless you tie up the strong man, how can you take over the household? So unless the father's not there, yeah, then that man that comes in, sometimes the man comes in, he can do whatever he wants. But when there's another man in there, there's a recheck. Ooh, before I go and do my madness, but there is another guy here, you know. Let me be careful how I move and operate right now. You understand? Yeah, and I'm not saying that's foolproof. I'm just saying it helps to vet and to validate. You know what I'm saying? So your daughter needed you right now. This was not the time to duck out because you felt a certain type of way about it. I'm not cussing your fatherhood. I'm not cussing your parenting skills. What I am saying is I want to be part of this new generation that says, actually, I'm not just going to punish, and it feels like I'm not going to punish you for choosing something that I didn't want you to choose. Right? And I think a lot of us who are younger know this feeling where if your parents don't agree with your decision, they suddenly tell you, well, I'm not going to be part of your life then. And look, and let me be honest with you, I've done it before. See, when my sister was dating somebody, yeah, I didn't like who she was dating. I ain't gonna lie to you, you weren't Christian, I didn't like the way you were doing, and I didn't like it. And guess what I did? I said, well, listen, I'm not gonna get involved, I'm gonna back up here. You understand? Right? I'm gonna back up here. The only thing I did say to her is, listen, if you need me, my brother, I'm always gonna be here. You understand? I'm always gonna be here. But still, I could have done a better job by saying, listen, from the very beginning, I'm here, I'm about it, do you know what I'm saying? And I could have been more active in her life in regard to that boyfriend. Could have asked more questions, but I didn't. And so therefore the person went through a lot of relationship stuff they went with that individual in silence because nobody agreed with what she was doing, and therefore she was all alone. Guess what happens when you're all alone? You are isolated and you are now becoming you easily can become a victim. When a lion is roaming about, seeking for whom he may devour, he's looking for the little one at the end of the pack. So when you're isolated and all alone, and the little one, all alone, a million miles away, and you're isolated, like the lion can pounce. So as a father figure, I want to make sure that I will not leave you spare. Yeah, I've learned my lesson as a brother, and now I want to make sure that as a father, I'm going to operate in that as well. Yep, cool. You know, and I love the fact that mum gave a hard time to Miles World. Just really made sure that obviously, you know, she likes him. I think she just wants to make sure that, you know, she wants to test him and just kind of put him a little bit under pressure, make sure he knows you're not getting an easy ride here. And eventually she caved in and said, actually, I think you're really lovely. I like you. You're warm. You're about this life. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I think you're good for my daughter. And in the end, she actually said, listen, if my daughter don't want you, I'm even going to speak to her. Yeah? So that's the kind of impression Miles made. That's the impact Miles made. That's what genuinity and authenticity of a heart that truly is for a person shows to a parent.
He's going to give you some time, sweetie. I definitely feel Miles can fit in my family. He's so warm and gentle and kind. So I'm very pleased.
Like when I've gone to parents' houses when it comes to dating a particular individual, I've never had a problem. Do you know why? Because I genuinely liked your girl. I genuinely liked your daughter. And you're going to see that because the way I'm going to speak about it, you're going to hear it. Now, what I've said in different particular aspects has been different because I've grown and evolved since. But the genuinity and the authenticity has always been there. You understand? I'm going to play. You understand? I'm going to play. You understand? All right, cool. And you know, a good parent can always tell. Whether the son or the daughter coming has good intentions. A good parent can spot when a hyena or a lion or a wolf, a lion or a wolf or a tiger is coming for the sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like they can a good parent who loves their child, who's got good eyes, can often tell when someone's coming with bad intention. They reek of it, they smell of it. There is a pheromone in the air, or should I say whatever hormones in the air. Obviously on Miles of it, which is really interesting for Karen, I think there was a good contrast. You know, Karen made a point where she said, you know, she's happy to be submissive, but she wants to be the neck, which I think is brilliant. I think I love that as well. You know, she wants the man to make a decision.
All about submission.
I prefer it because my dad is the head of the household, but I will say...
Your mother's the neck.
This is why I'm saying to you that if Miles does not operate in more masculine energy, he's done for. Because the way that Karen is viewing masculinity and viewing leadership in the home is a certain type of way. And I just believe right now that Miles is not operating in the level of masculinity that she requires and desires. That's why she mentioned in that first episode, it looks like he's a bit emotional. Because the kind of masculinity she's been exposed to has been a certain type of way. And so therefore, you know, I do believe that she has an idea in her head and Miles may not fit that. Yeah? You know, I rate obviously the father of Miles though, because I really think he gave some really good interjectory points. And he showed that he actually understood he showed that he actually understood his son.
That he cares about. It's very important to him. And he often will get down if he feels like he's disappointed them. Anybody that he really cares about?
You know, the father really showed that he understood his son by making sure, you know, that he made Karen aware that, listen, my boy's a little bit sensitive. He's a nurturing type. He's a bit softer than, you know, your usual hard nuts. Please be careful what you say to him. Now, at that point, I am scared because I'm not sure we're not sure what Karen kind of took from that, right? Because obviously then after that, the conversation that's had after that, is that the mum becomes very territorial, okay, and says, obviously makes a comment about the fact that if you're not down for my boy, send him back to manufacturer. Send him back to the manufacturer if he's not ready. You understand? She don't want her boy to get hurt. And so I think that's quite interesting. But like I said, because the father is expressing, and remember, this is not the first time. The last time they talked about this, he also expressed about they expressed about the mama boy, etc., etc. But in this particular case, they went a bit further, and the father was saying, you know, that, you know, he's sensitive and that when he lets someone down, he feels it heavy, right? He really feels a heavy burden when he lets someone down. He's all about making sure that he uplifts you, loves you, cares for you, and wants the best for you and wants to do as much as he can for you. But when he makes a mistake, he can be a little bit hard on himself. And so listen, what he was advising was that, hey, my friend, just be nurturing. And Karen, be soft with your words. Be encouraging with your words. Be uplifting with your words. Karen, can you build that man up with your words, or are you going to tear down at that point in moment? And I think this is very important. It's not that women tear down men or men tear down women when they're good. Often what happens is people are used to a certain level of masculinity or femininity, and then they're not used to building up somebody in a certain type of way because they're used to certain people that usually build themselves up. And so now they're in a place where they're unable to function because actually this is different to what I'm used to. And I really believe, I don't know how well Karen's going to do in terms of encouraging Miles if these things happen. We don't know. We're not sure. We're not made aware. We don't really know 100%. So that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to deal with. Forwarding on to obviously... the mum speaking about her son, she mentioned about the fact that, you know, she doesn't want anyone to think his kindness is a weakness.
Tender and his heart is very precious. His kindness is his weakness, or people can mistaken it as a weakness.
And that this was such a warning for Karen, and I'm not sure if this warning was women to women or the fact this warning was that she saw something in Karen. We're not sure yet, but she makes a very distinct warning for her and said, listen, look, if you, like she makes it saying, obviously, I am territorial of my son. You know, I'm very protective of my son, and I want to make sure that you know that, look, at the end of the day, if you can't handle this nurturing side of this boy, you can't handle this kindness, send him back to manufacturer, and I'll pick up the pieces. Now, part of me says, wow, love that the mum would actually do that. Love the fact that mum is aware that, you know, Karen may not be the right one. But then a part of me is like, oh my days, pick up the pieces. Oh no. Does that mean that, oh, he really is like a mama's boy? Like he really is about the fact his mum picks up the slack. The fact that his mum becomes almost like his girlfriend. Because, you know, that's how mama's boy is. And, you know, that might have set alarm bells ringing in Karen's head. I know that she, at the time...
I don't really know how that piece will play out as far as, you know, what does that look like for me, like on a...
Anne was saying that, that she said in the clip review where she said that, you know, she's not taking it as a red flag, but it's a little bit territorial and she has to watch out for that now. Yeah, she has to pay attention to that. So that's something to think about. You know, and I put down here as well that, you know what, with all the spying that, Karen did, surely she would know that Miles is a great guy or not a great guy by what he saw on his Instagram. Not only that, maybe that's a bit shallow, because I can't be saying that. You don't really know if you know someone from Instagram. But, I think obviously for Karen, her thing is this. Look, she's never going to trust, she's not going to close the space physically on the bed, in the bedroom, until she can trust him, she feels like. Until she feels like he's trustworthy of her. And I think that's when they'll close the space. But at the moment, she's not going to close the space on the bed. He's going to sleep on one side, she's going to sleep on the other side, and they're going to keep it like that and be respectful. And I truly wanted to ask that question, which is that I wonder if it was an ex-boyfriend situation that has brought her to this point. So I want to just kind of round up quickly and say, look, I really believe that Miles and Karen could be good together. Should Karen understand that, listen, this man here is a good guy? Should she understand that this guy here is an excellent catch? Should she understand that? Should she also override her own understanding, or should I say her own idea of what a man should be? Then we can see great results with her and Miles. If not, it's not going to go anywhere. Can Miles operate in a more masculine energy? Yes, if he's made aware. But then it may make him go the opposite way. You can't be what you're not. You understand? You can't be what you're not. So yeah, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you returnees, you got the minerals. You got the minerals, baby. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded.